Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Profit Matters Live. Today, I'm doing it from my wife's office, not my office. Mine is currently under construction. So if you do hear the sound of contractors in the background, I guess it's a good show to do that for because that's what we talk about. So, hi, Ashley. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Derek. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm recovering from the flu Thanksgiving. We all had the flu over Thanksgiving, which is, typical, right?
That's rough. Oh,
It is.
no.
Well, it is coming to that time of year where we start talking about taxes. We start talking about getting ready for 2023. And I know today we wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between employees and contractors. And this is always something that, no matter how often you talk about it, it's still a topic of conversation that every business owner talks about. What is the difference between a contractor and an employee? What qualifies somebody as an employee versus a contractor? And particularly in our business, where a lot of people are independent contractors, in the sense that, if you're a general, you've got multiple different contractors that are working for you. So what is the difference? I mean, let's sum this thing up here. Let's try to put a nail in the coffin finally of the difference between contractors and employees, which we'll never be able to do because somebody will be talking about it again tomorrow.
That's right. So the first thing to say is the IRS has topic 762 titled Independent Contractor versus Employee, and that will give you the actual breakdown. And I think it'd be awesome to include that link here. So we'll do that on all of our platforms where you're seeing us today. But there are really three things that the IRS says makes you either an employee and a contractor. And I think it's important to talk about this because as we near the end of the year and you go into next year, who do you have as a contractor who may need to be an employee? Or who do you have as an employee who's really fitting that contractor responsibility, which could take some liability off of your company and also help you save some money on payroll taxes or benefits or other things?
Sure.
You want to really consider a independent contractor as somebody who's independent. And so they can operate on their own outside of your business. And so the three things we're looking for: behavioral control. Are we telling them what they can do, how they can do it, when they can do it? If you say, hey, this is the job and you can go out there and you can do whatever you want, you just have to accomplish X. Okay, now we've fit one of those criteria. The other one would be financial control. This job's going to cost $20,000, Derek, and I'm sending you out there and I want you to do all the plumbing on the job. But if I'm saying, okay, Derek, I'm going to supply this, like that, and I'm making decisions on whether a profit or a loss can occur for that person. Because if I hire you for the job for $20,000, then you can spend $20,000, you can spend $30,000. It doesn't matter to me. I'm still paying you $20,000. Versus, am I paying you an hourly rate? Am I paying you for how many days you're on the project? Am I paying you for the other things that would fall into I'm really telling you how to do your work and how much it's going to cost? And the other thing, go ahead.
No, that's good. That makes total sense.
Yeah. And then the last part would be the relationship of the party. And so, what do we have? Do we have a contract that's telling you that it's $20,000 and you're going to go out there and do it? Or is it more hourly? Are we including vacation pay or sick pay? Is this relationship long-term or short-term or project-based? So if I have Derek on every single one of my projects coming up the rest of this year, Derek's probably an employee. Yeah. But if I have Derek going to maybe 10 out of 12 jobs even, I think we'd be okay. Or maybe let's say we have him on 6 out of 12, whatever it is. Like really that appears like an independent contractor. We're going, Derek, this job pays $10,000. It starts on this day. It has to be finished by this day. Show up with your own tools, bring all your own materials, whatever we need to do to get it done. You're an independent contractor.
Got it. And the benefits to you, if that person is an independent contractor, fall more on the payroll side, right? Because a lot of people don't understand that when you pay payroll taxes, it isn't just the taxes that come out of the person's check. You as the employer also pay payroll taxes. So you're saving on that aspect, but that means the independent contractor is paying it.
That's right. Yep. They're having to pay it on their own. They either have to get their health insurance. There's no such thing as vacation pay or sick day. Like all of those things do not exist when you have an independent contractor. But for you as the employer, if I say I'm only going to pay you $20,000, but material prices go up and it ends up being $30,000 for you, it's very unfortunate, but that's on you. Like if something didn't change in the scope and you misquoted it, so you're saving money because you're giving people a project-based job. That's one good reason to use subcontractors. And another one in construction would be you don't have all the payroll taxes. So if you have 401k and health insurance and you're paying state and federal payroll taxes, that's your 941, your 940, or if your Texas TWC or whatever your state is, right? So you're paying all of those extra things. You're paying the employees' costs, so they pay half of it and the company pays half of it. Versus if they file as an independent contractor, they're paying all their what we call self-employment taxes that the IRS really dings you for. But the benefit of being a subcontractor also is you're getting to deduct all of your expenses. Like it is essentially a business on your tax return versus you getting a W-2 that goes in your gross wages. Nothing really reduces that taxable amount.
That makes sense. Now, I have a friend, and of course, I don't want to give tax advice here, but he actually just recently got audited. He owns a electrical contracting business, right, where he actually runs the business. And the IRS is trying to now say it's a hobby. Why would that be?
Oh, the amount of time that he spends doing the business, or it's not his primary source of income. So there's a couple of things that the IRS would consider passive. And here's what always blows my mind. So we have people who go, I make a $300,000 a year salary and I'm going to invest in real estate. And they think that they have this big real estate loss that's going to offset their income. But the IRS has things we call passive and non-passive. And so the only things that can offset your primary source of income and thus reduce your tax burden are the things that are your active daily activities, right? And so you can't have passive losses. Passive losses do not offset what we call ordinary income. And so it's important to understand what's a hobby or what's passive when you think like, oh, well, I'm going to let my wife start an art company and it's fine if she loses $50,000 a year because she loves it and it's reducing our tax liability. Well, if that's the only thing she's doing, great. But if she also makes a salary, right, it doesn't offset.
I see. So that's where it gets tricky, is you can't really double dip in that regard.
That's right. Yep.
You got to be committed. You got to be you got to be a contract. You got to be a contractor, or you got to be an employee. You can't be both. So let's go over those three again real quickly, just in summary. So the first one, to identify if somebody is a contractor versus an employee. What was the first one? Was it the schedule?
Behavioral control, like how their work is accomplished and when, and then the financial control. So how much that we're ending up paying for the job, how we're paying for it, how the materials are coming. Are they considered a worker, like under our workers' comp, things like that? If the profit or the loss can occur on us or on them. And then the relationship of the parties. Is this a contract? Is this permanent? Is it long-term? Is it per project? How does the contract look? In regards to that person working. And then I guess last thing quickly would be, if you have independent contractors, do not give them a paycheck until you've received a Form W-9, because at the end of the year, when you get ready to do your 1099s, those will start next month, January 1st for us. The problem's going to be that when we say, hey, Derek, can we get your W-9? Derek's like, please do not ask me for my W-9. I've already skirted out of this. They're not going to be able to send me a 1099. All the $100,000 I made is not going to be taxable because you didn't get it. Like, people are not going to allow you to send them a document that creates a tax burden if they don't have to. And so you have to get that before you pay your contractors. And every contractor, you have to have either a social security number or an EIN. And if those numbers are not accurate, you will get a letter from the IRS saying all of these people do not have a confirmed social security number tied to the name. So common in construction. You see it every single day where people say, I just got this letter from the IRS. What does it mean? It means all of these workers are either illegal aliens or their documents don't match their name or keyed it in wrong. And so it's really important that we understand when we, type those things in, they are going to come back and look at the numbers and make sure everything matches up.
Okay, now I've got some emails to send here as soon as we're done.
And that's all on us. as the business owner, not
Yeah.
the person who gave it. So if you walk up and you give me a fake social security card and I put that on all your documents, and then, you know, I do still get the letter as the business owner that says, and then it doesn't.
Excuse me. Yeah, that makes total sense. Well, that's great advice. So if you've got if you got this going on in your business, make sure you're getting it right, because if you're not getting it right, the liability is going to fall back on you.
That's right.
All right. Well, until next time, have a great. I guess this is like that. What is it? It's not the holiday season yet. I guess it is the holiday season. It's the holiday party season, is what it is.
It is holiday party. Yes, we're holiday partying all the rest of the week. So
all right. Well, until next time, we'll see you all soon. Check out profitmatterslive.co if you have questions, or if you got topics that you'd like to see us discuss here on the show. Hit us up on social or email us at hello@profitmatters.co. Until next time, thanks.
Thank you.